What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to click the little bell so you can be updated when I post new videos, and do not forget to follow me on social media. Alright, y'all, so I watched the 2-hour finale of Being Mary Jane. A lot of people didn't even realize that it came on tonight, and I actually almost forgot, but I remember like right at 7:55. So I watched it, and honestly, it was a really good episode. It was a really good episode in my opinion. Some of the things I was trying to get caught up on, because honestly, I stopped watching Being Mary Jane before it got canceled, because when she went to New York, I was just not into it. The writing to me was horrible. I wasn't into it. And then she started dating that ugly English dude, and I wasn't into it, so I just stopped watching it. But I do remember that she got with Justin, played by Michael Ealy. And at first I never really believed that he loved her. But I guess he did, because he proposed to her. So Mary Jane and Michael Ealy are together. He proposes to her because he loves her. He wants to marry her. He wants to make her bae. He wants to make her wifey or whatever. And Mary Jane has this reluctant look. Now, like I said, I didn't watch the ending of last season, so I didn't know what the fuck was happening. But apparently Mary Jane went to get IVF. Okay, so her and Justin have broken up, and within 48 hours, she went to the IVF place and got inseminated. So now there's a possible chance that she could get pregnant, but she didn't tell him. Okay, so he's proposing to her, and she's possibly with child, but she don't know how to tell him. So she is trying to find different ways not to have sex with him, because if she has sex with him, it is going to mess up the insemination process or something. I don't really know. She got pregnant. And she ended up taking a pregnancy test. He came in while she was sitting on the toilet taking a test, and he saw that she was pregnant, and he was overjoyed because he felt like, we're pregnant. And she said, nigga, I got something to tell you. Okay, so when we broke up for that 2 minutes, I went to the IVF place and I got inseminated. He was obviously upset because, I mean, y'all had just broken up. Like, and Mary Jane, and this is kind of why I stopped watching the show, and I just never liked Mary Jane, because Mary Jane does things, she doesn't think it through. She's very impulsive, and she thinks of herself more than she thinks of anybody else. And that's the one thing that bothered me the fuck about her, because all she did was think about herself. So he's upset, like, we broke up, it was 48 hours, and then you went and got pregnant. And she said, you know what, I didn't know if you were going to come back. You left. And I just needed to do this. You know how long I wanted to be a mom. And I kind of don't, being a woman of a particular age, as Mary Jane is, as I am, I kind of don't blame her for doing it, because after we're always told that after 35 it's worse it's harder to get pregnant, whatever the case, even though it's done. And some people cue Kenya Moore and Janet Jackson and all that shit. Them bitches got money. I ain't got that kind of money. But, people reference them, but you do not know how hard it was for them to get pregnant. But it definitely is harder for some women to get pregnant after the age of 35. And Mary Jane has been wanting a child. We have been looking at this girl from season 1 trying to steal sperm from niggas to get pregnant. So she has been wanting to have a baby for the longest while. And the fact that this was a relationship that failed, like all the other relationships, he walked out, she was done. She got to the point where, like, you know what? Fuck it. Okay? I wanted to get married. I wanted to be with somebody. Nothing is working out with any of these people. I'm just going to do the shit myself and raise my baby. I got the means. I'm going to do it. And she went ahead and did it. Now, she should have waited like a week or something. But I get why she did it. Okay, so I'm not even faulting her. He was pretty upset, and he basically ended it. The engagement just ended. And here she was, pregnant, no man, not engaged, and about to be a single mother. So, 7 months passed, and she is in her Lamaze class. She's by herself. She ain't got nobody. And she bumps into Morris Chestnut. Now, when I saw Morris Chestnut, I was like, okay, full disclosure, I never liked Morris Chestnut, okay? I did not like him. I didn't think he was sexy. I didn't think anything. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's old age, but that chocolate looked really good. He looks good. He looks so good. He reminded me of my high school boyfriend. I ain't even gonna lie. But anyways, so she runs into Morris Chestnut, he plays Bo. And Bo is her ex-beau. He was her boyfriend I don't know if it was her boyfriend in high school or college, but whatever. He was dorky. He was a nerd. He had Coke bottle glasses. He basically was nothing like Mary Jane would ever date. But she liked him and he liked her, but they broke up because she was more focused on her career while he wanted to be with her. And now he's fine as fuck, has money, recently well, I don't know if it was recently divorced, but divorced. Well, anyways, so they're talking, they go out to eat, and you know, she's basically saying, you know, I'm raising this baby by myself. Justin is no longer in the picture, and you know, I'm just gonna do it on my own. And you can tell that he is interested in her, and I like with Gabrielle Union and Morris Chestnut, I like when they act together because you can see the clear chemistry between them. I don't know what it is, but every time I've seen them act together, you can see it. You can see it. You can just see it. I would have preferred her to be with him in real life, but you know, whatever. But the thing that was weird about it is that their situation moved so fucking fast. Next thing I know, they had lunch the same day that they saw each other, and then he is accompanying her to Lamont's class the next day. And then the next thing I know, he's at her apartment giving her a massage, and then they fucking. Now, I don't know if this is something that happens normally. A man fucking a woman that's pregnant by another man, or, well, you know, pregnant by somebody else or whatever. That to me is the strangest thing. Like, are you comfortable enough to have sex with somebody who is pregnant with a baby that's not yours? I think that is weird, but they said best, you know, the best sex is pregnancy sex. I wouldn't know. But Mary Jane decides to go back home because Niecy, her niece, was graduating from cosmetology school, and she invited Bo to go. So Bo's mom knows the family, and the family knows Bo's mom. So everybody was happy to see Bo. He was fine. Suge Avery was trying to flirt on them or whatever the case may be. So Mary Jane is killing it at work. She is like the top rated media person behind Oprah. She's like number 2. So Mary Jane is doing the damn thing, and because she's pregnant, it gives off more of a motherly glow. So everybody's loving the pregnant Mary Jane. So on set, Mary Jane actually goes into some sort of pre-labor. She did have, I think she did have some sort, no, did she have any medical issues? I want to say preeclampsia, but I don't think she did. But anyways, she went into early labor, and she was rushed to the hospital, and Kara was with her, who is her producer, and the baby was born early. And it was scary because he was born, I think he was born 2 months early. So he was, no, it was 2 months, yeah, he was born 2 months early. So he had to go into NICU and everything like that and make sure that his lungs and everything is strong. And thankfully he came out of it. And I was scared because I was like, we waited from season 1 to now for Mary Jane to actually have a baby. And you motherfuckers better not do anything to this child, or else I'm gonna fight somebody. I tweeted that, and then the Be Mary Jane Twitter handle retweeted my tweet laughing at me. I'm like, no, for real. We have waited for this baby for so long. Please don't let nothing happen to this child. But the baby was fine. The baby was okay. Her parents came, and Kara was there at the hospital, and Justin showed up. Now, I don't know if Justin was watching the news, you know, just watching her, but he showed up to the hospital to make sure that she was all right. And Kara told him, you know, she'll be fine. And Justin said, don't tell her I was there. So you can tell Justin still cares for her and still loves her. So next thing you know, Mary Jane and Bo are just having this kind of like relationship, but not really a relationship. He's like playing daddy to the baby, and the baby's so fucking cute, but playing daddy to the baby and babysitting the baby when the nurse or the babysitter is not there. He's basically playing the daddy role with Mary Jane, basically looking like a family. Beautiful family, I might add. But anyways, so he's really looking like a family with her. So he goes to her job. Oh no. Okay. So Mary Jane goes to work, and she sees everybody scattered into a huddle and everything like that. She wants to know what's going on. Next thing you know, Justin is now the producer of her show. I'll tell you what happened with Kara in a minute. But Justin's now the producer, so she's kind of flustered, like, what the fuck is Justin doing here? Why is he here? You know, I don't need this, or whatever. So Justin is saying he's trying to get this producer position for the late night show, and being the stand-in for this show will really help his look or whatever. So, fine. They working together, they doing the thing, they doing the producer thing or whatever. So, they're talking in her office, and Bo walks in. Fine-ass Bo. Fine-ass Bo walks in, and Justin is looking like, who the fuck is this? And he's looking at Justin like, who the fuck is this little nigga? And then, like, they introduced each other, and immediately, Bo came off very insecure. Justin, he kept his cool, as light-skinned niggas do. He kept his cool, but Bo, you could tell Bo is very insecure. And I felt like that stems from them being younger and him being a dork or whatever the case may be, and he's intimidated by this pretty boy with the light eyes, and I think he was flexing his muscle, and it came off very kind of crazy-ish to me. At first I was like, ooh, Bo, but then I was like, yeah, that's kind of like not attractive to me. But you know, he was trying to flex his muscle or whatever the case may be. They were about to go to lunch, and Mary Jane was basically telling Bo, you don't have anything to worry about. Justin and I are no longer together. He's just working on the show in Kara's absence. We are good. We are good. Now, at the same time, we still don't hear Mary Jane actually make this into a relationship. But Bo is actually making it seem like they are in a relationship because he wants to know he has nothing to worry about. So Bo is head over heels in love with Mary Jane. And to me, Mary Jane is using him as a place filler. Like, he is there playing daddy, doing all this thing like a family because she wanted a family. So she's happy that he's there doing it, but this is not the person she really wants to be with. Alright, so Kara is doing her producer thing. She is, you know, getting into the groove with Mary Jane. She is giving Mary Jane advice about being a parent and all that stuff. And Kara is still in the relationship with I think he's a former baseball player. And, you know, she's happy, she's in love and everything like that. Next thing you know, Kara is at home and she, you know, comes out the shower and she starts doing a breast exam on herself and she feels a lump. So Kara gets a little afraid. She goes to the doctor and it is confirmed that she has breast cancer. And the actress that plays Kara, she tweeted that the actual storyline for her character was based off of her personal experience finding out that she had breast cancer. So prayers up to her. I hope that she is okay. But Kara was flustered. She was like, oh my God, because her mom and her sister were former breast cancer. Well, they are breast cancer survivors. So breast cancer runs in her family. So she asked the doctor, if you were me, what would you do? And the doctor said, I will remove both breasts, get a double mastectomy, remove both breasts, and get reconstructive surgery. So Kara's like, she's shaking, she's afraid, she doesn't want to tell anyone, she's thinking about her kids, she doesn't know what to do. So, she doesn't tell her boyfriend, and she doesn't tell Mary Jane. She's looking up information about this cancer and everything like that. And she brings Mary Jane into her office and she gives Mary Jane some papers and she said, I want you to be the executor of my estate. I want you to take over. If anything happens to me, I want the kids to get the insurance money. I want you to basically help me if something ever happens. And Mary Jane was like, what's going on? What's wrong? And Kara, she's reluctant to tell her, but she told her that, you know, I have breast cancer and I have to do a double mastectomy. I have to get rid of my breasts. And Mary Jane, of course, she signs the paperwork and she basically sits with her and talks with her about what's going on. So it's the day of the surgery. Kara told Mary Jane, do not tell the boyfriend. He's in Brazil on a job assignment or whatever. Do not tell him. Just come with her to the hospital and help her get through this. So the day of the surgery, Kara gets the breast removed. The doctors say, you know, she'll be fine. She can leave in about 3 days. They removed all the tissue and everything like that. She doesn't need radiation because they caught it early. So Mary Jane is happy about that. So she goes in to see her and Kara looks, you know, as anyone would look who has surgery. And she is crying because, you know, just everything is changing, and then she's in this relationship with this man and he doesn't know, and will he still love her without breast? And I think that's what a lot of women who go through breast cancer and who have to have double mastectomies go through, or even removing one breast go through, like, will you still find me attractive? You know, a lot of women, and I keep doing this, but a lot of women are tied to our breasts, because our breasts, even though it doesn't make us feminine, it's the thing that makes us feminine. Kara said she wished her boyfriend was there. Mary Jane told her, you know what? I got you. I called him. I told him. And he is on his way. He will be here in a couple of hours. So her boyfriend shows up, and he is overcome when he sees Mary Jane. And Mary Jane said, you know, just listen to her. She's okay. Just talk to her. He goes in there. He sees her. He kisses her. And he proposes to her. Because this is the woman he loves. This is the woman he wants to be with. So before she even, like, really accepts, she tells him, I got something to tell you. I had breast cancer and I had to get rid of both of my breasts. And I don't know if you will be okay with that. If you feel comfortable with that. And he was like, I love you regardless, no matter what. So that was a beautiful thing. So they got engaged, which was a beautiful thing to me. Okay. So, and then we find out that Kara is the one who actually suggested that Justin take her place at the station, because Kara feels like Justin is the man that Mary Jane loves, and he loves her. And she told she told Mary Jane that Bo is, like I said, Bo is like a place filler. Like, she doesn't really love him. And Mary Jane confirms, like, he wants to be with me. He accepts me and the baby. And Kara told her, well, when you were in the hospital, Justin showed up. And he was genuinely concerned. And I can see that he still loves you. Alright, so let's go to the family in Atlanta. Alright, so Mary Jane's niece. Niecy is in cosmetology school. She is trying to get her shit right. She is working at a salon, and she got into some shit with the salon, so she quit the salon. So she's trying to open up her own spot. The problem is Niecy's still in school, and her clientele isn't built up yet. So she goes to some dude that looks like Scrap DeLeon from Love and Hip Hop to me. I still didn't understand that part. I don't know who he was. It wasn't like she was at a bank trying to get a loan. I don't know who this man was. But obviously he was helping her with her business plan. And he started to fall for her. And she started to fall for him. And next thing you know, that's her man. I don't really know. But he helped her with the business plan. So she was graduating. And Mary Jane came to Atlanta with Bo. And with the family, she sat down with the family. She said, this is the business plan I want to do. I want to open my own salon and everything like that. And she needed $50,000. And they basically told her, like, girl, the ink ain't dried on your damn diploma. Like, why are you trying to open a salon right now? And they said, you know, just give yourself some time. Go back to work at the salon that you were at and build up your clientele. And she got really frustrated. She got upset because, you know, Niecy, if she don't get her way, she get mad. So whatever. So her boyfriend was the advisor, whoever the fuck he was there. Next thing you know, they go into some room. She's saying that they don't believe in her. They never believe in her. Next thing I know, Scrap DeLeon kisses her, and then they fall asleep on the couch. Wake up in the morning. Suge Avery is making their breakfast. I was like, oh, okay. That's weird. But anyways, still don't know who that man is, but you know, whatever. But as far as Suge Avery, I still call her Suge Avery. I don't even remember her real name on this show. But Suge Avery and Richard Roundtree. Okay, so these two are splitting up. Now, I did not watch the last season, so I don't know what happened. I remember there was an ex or something, and then from what I gathered on this episode, he was the oldest son's real father or something, so she was cheating on Richard Roundtree or whatever. So he was ready to get rid of her, and I think she moved out and then she moved back in, and then he still wouldn't talk to her. So PJ, the younger brother, he was telling his mom, like, you have to ignore him. You're chasing him and it's not going to work. So Richard Roundtree was gonna sell the house and move back to Mississippi because he was like, fuck Atlanta, I'm done. I'm getting a divorce. And so it was like he was kind of over the situation, and she's trying her hardest to get her husband back, but it wasn't working. So PJ and Niecy's daddy, I don't remember his name, but you know, they were talking to the father and they were saying, y'all old, okay? You are better together than you are apart. You are too old to be by yourself. You and Ma need to work it out and everything like that. And I guess they decided to work it out. It never really came to a conclusion about that, but they crammed a lot of shit in 2 hours, okay? But they decided to work it out, and everything was good with that. Okay, let's go back to Mary Jane. I don't know what kind of event was going on, but Justin was dressed up in his suit and tie. Mary Jane was dressed up. And then Bo was there waiting on Mary Jane to come out of her office. So Justin walks up to Bo and they start talking. They start going back and forth with each other. And then next thing I know, these two dudes fighting. And I'm like, okay, Justin threw a punch first. And then they started fighting in the newsroom. And then Mary Jane broke it up. I was like, okay, first of all, I am starting to think that Bo has really low self-esteem. Even though he is fine as all hell, he is still the insecure teenage boy with the Coke bottle glasses and the skinny frame. He was not, because I think because Mary Jane was such an unattainable thing for him back then, and he can't believe that he got her back then. Getting her now, he's trying his hardest to make sure that he keeps her. But what he's doing is counterproductive, because he is in love with her. She's not in love with him. And he is trying to show her, he's doing all these things, taking care of the baby, trying to show her that he is the perfect man for her. But she don't want him. So, her and him, Bo, go outside in the hallway, and he was like, you got to make up your mind what you want to do. It's either me or him. You got to choose what you want to do, because I'm not into this fuck shit with you. And then he walks off. So, next thing I know, Mary Jane goes to a house. I thought it was where the gala was going to be, but it was Jason's house. He bought some farm. He had this big, huge fucking house, and he had like a barn and all that shit. And I don't know how she got there, but she got there with the driver or whatever, and he was basically telling her, like, you know, I still love you, and, you know, I just felt like you were impulsive, and so on and so forth. And at this moment, I never really thought that they belonged together, but at this moment, I felt like they did. Because when they were talking, he was saying that, you know, you make me laugh, and I love your ambition, and I love the quirkiness of you or whatever. And then he said, he said something about the movie Boomerang. He said, I love that you and I feel like not Angela. I love that you and I feel that Jacqueline and Mark is better suited for each other rather than Angela. And they did a line for the movie, and I was like, okay, they're a little cute or whatever. And I saw what the attraction was with each other. And they kissed and everything like that, and they basically made up. And they go into the house and they're talking and everything like that. He was like, the house isn't finished. I wanted to get it finished and bring you here and everything like that. And then her babysitter calls her. The babysitter's father got into a car accident. She got to go home. So Mary Jane goes back to her house. Justin is with her. And the baby's crying because the baby has colic. And the baby's so cute. And Justin's standing there like, this bitch really got a baby. Like, this whole baby is like right in this room. And, you know, it was interesting because I was wondering how was he going to be with the baby. So there was some trick that you take the baby into a bathroom with the steam and the water, and the baby will calm down and stop crying. So that's what they did. They were sitting there on the floor, the baby in the bassinet, and he is sleeping. So Mary Jane gets up, go make a bottle, and Justin is in there cradling the baby and singing to him. And Mary Jane was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. That was a beautiful moment. Oh my God. Because there's a lot of men that feel like they cannot take care of essentially somebody else's child. And I felt like he was, I don't know if he's that type of person, but the moment that he held the baby and he was singing to him, I was like, I see you, Justin. I see you. And I don't dislike you anymore because I don't like Michael Ealy for some reason. But anyway, so she's like on cloud nine. Her man is in there with the baby, and she's fine and she's happy and then there's a knock on the door. Who do you think it is? It's Bo. So Bo comes in and he's like, Mary Jane, I love you and I want to be with you. And then he goes out on one knee and proposes to her. Justin walks his ass with the baby out and like, just staring. And Bo like, and then it went off. So next thing you know, you see Mary Jane. She's in a beautiful white dress. You see all the people coming into the hall. You see the flowers. You see everybody dressed up. And then you see Mary Jane standing in front of a beautiful mirror in her beautiful gown, looking beautiful as hell. And her mom comes in and said, Pauletta, it's time. And you see Mary Jane walking down the aisle. And we already know who the fuck is going to be down there. And it's Justin. Mary Jane and Justin got married. It was a beautiful ceremony. The reception was wonderful. I think it was Layla Hathaway singing to them on stage. And everybody was dancing. Everybody was happy. It was a beautiful thing. And then it ended. That was it. That was the end of Being Mary Jane. Honestly, I said I didn't like the New York season. I liked the season before that. That was a really good season. With Loretta Devine in it that season, that was really good. This was really... I appreciate this. BET, let me talk to you for a second. I appreciate this. You know why? Because there's a lot of shows, especially a lot of black shows, that get canceled and we're left on at a cliffhanger. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what happened because the fucking show ain't coming back. So I appreciate that BET listened to people and took the time and do this wrap up of this show. Because, like, I didn't watch it, but if they had wrapped up Moesha so we could find out who the fuck was pregnant, I would have been a happy person. I would have been happy in my life. But they didn't do that, okay? If they had did that with Girlfriends, I would have been good. But they didn't do that. They have a tendency of canceling a lot of these shows and not wrapping them up. And I'm glad that there was some sort of conclusion to this show. We see Mary Jane finally got the baby that she wanted, and she finally got the man that she wanted. And I am appreciative of that. I would have liked the other men of her past to kind of pop up, like Amari Hardwick or the dude that played David. I would like somebody like that was like instrumental in her past to kind of pop up. Bo popping up, it was kind of what? Because we've never heard of him. Never seen him. Like, we love seeing Morris Chestnut now, but where the fuck you come from? We have never heard of you. So that was kind of like, I don't know if they just tried to incorporate Morris Chestnut somewhere, and that's why. But it was kind of weird because we never heard of you before. But, the show, the games we play, I was watching it off and on. I didn't really catch the whole thing. But it looked like an interesting show, so I don't know. I might watch it. I might not. If y'all want to get a recap or whatever, let me know. But Being Mary Jane is over, y'all. So, another black show bites the dust. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about the finale episode of Being Mary Jane. Do not forget to comment down below. Check out my website, justbeher.com. I got teas on sale and teas on sale. And I got actually something for Mother's Day for mommies and me's and your little kids and all that. So I got something going on for Mother's Day as well. But anyway, check out my website, justbeher.com. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.